Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. The Curse of Oak Island. The team is shocked to date Nolan's Cross back to 1200 AD. The Curse of Oak Island team has learned that Nolan's Cross dates all the way back to the 13th century as evidence mounts that the Templar Knights hid buried treasure on Oak Island. On this week's episode, Rick Lagina, accompanied by Alex Lagina, Peter Fornetti, and Doug Crowell, went on a jaunt to Italy to examine a couple of underground cave systems linked to the medieval order of the Templar Knights. The guys hope to find connections to Oak Island by examining the multiple carvings on the walls of the caves. However, the team came across their most startling revelation when they visited archaeoastronomer Adriano Gaspani. Archaeoastronomy is a scientific discipline that examines how ancient stone monuments were built to align with stars or other celestial objects. Stonehenge and the Great Pyramid at Giza are just two particularly famous examples of this. The discipline can actually be used to date a stone monument. Over the centuries, the position of stars moves in the night sky, so that a star will rise and set in a different position over time. This can be used to date a monument to a particular era. With that in mind, Adriano set to work and managed to identify 6 stars that aligned perfectly with Oak Island's Nolan's Cross. Nolan's Cross, which lies near the swamp on Oak Island, consists of 6 large boulders placed in the shape of a cross that covers hundreds of feet. The paved area and Nolan's Cross both date to the 13th century. Adriano then blew the minds of Rick and the others when he calmly dated Nolan's Cross to 1200 AD. The implications of this were not lost on Doug, who pointed out that the paved area of the swamp had been carbon dated to 1200 AD. This means that 2 major features from the swamp area are dated to the 13th century, and this also ties in with Zena Halpern's theory that Templar Knights made multiple journeys to Oak Island for 2 centuries, beginning with their first trip in 1179 AD. Earlier this season, expert theorist Brian Farrell told the guys that he had used sacred geometric numbers to conclude that Nolan's Cross was pointing in the direction of the Money Pit and the Garden Shaft, which all leads to the stone monument taking on ever greater significance in the island's mystery. Also, in Italy, the guys toured 2 underground cave complexes in Camerino and Osimo, both dating back over 2,000 years. The Warren of Caverns became Templar strongholds and then areas of refuge as the Knights hid from persecution from the 14th century onward. Oak Island team found more Templar symbols linked to the island. The Oak Island team came across symbols carved onto the walls that they had seen in other Templar structures in Portugal and in Nova Scotia. Alex and Peter found a circular symbol with a dot in the center that resembled the carving found on the Ho stone on Oak Island in the 1920s. The guys also found a goose claw carving, a symbol they previously encountered on a rock in Liverpool, Nova Scotia, that is said to be the mark of the stonemasons of the Templars. Meanwhile, back on the island, it was a particularly quiet episode last night. The Dumo Mining Company is slowly getting to the bottom of the Garden Shaft. They intend to go beyond the originally agreed depth of 82 feet to about 95 feet to investigate the possibility of a tunnel leading into the blob area. Also, in the swamp area, Billy Gerhardt and some of the guys cleared the muck and water off of the suspected ramp. This stone feature is thought to connect the stone roadway with the paved area, which the guys appeared to confirm. The Curse of Oak Island had always been a tale shrouded in mystery, whispered among treasure hunters and adventure seekers. Over the centuries, the island had beckoned many with the allure of untold riches hidden beneath its soil. The allure, however, had often been overshadowed by a curse, a series of unfortunate events, and enigmatic deaths that left more questions than answers. It was in this setting that the Lagina brothers and their team found themselves entrenched in one of the most astonishing discoveries in their quest. Nolan's Cross, an ancient artifact whose origins traced back to 1200 AD. The team had always known that Oak Island held secrets beyond the realm of ordinary understanding. Each stone, each piece of wood unearthed, seemed to carry whispers from the past, stories of pirates, the Knights Templar, and possibly even more ancient civilizations. But Nolan's Cross was different. This artifact, with its intricate carvings and mysterious symbols, had captivated their imaginations since they first laid eyes on it. Rick Lagina, the elder of the two brothers, stood at the edge of the dig site, his eyes fixed on the cross. The team had worked tirelessly to excavate the surrounding area, carefully brushing away centuries of dirt and debris. As they unearthed more of the artifact, they realized its significance was far greater than they had anticipated. "We need to get this analyzed," Rick said, his voice tinged with excitement and apprehension. "There's something about this cross that feels ancient." His brother Marty nodded in agreement. The team decided to send a sample of the wood to a renowned laboratory for carbon dating, hoping to uncover its true age. Days turned into weeks as they waited for the results, each passing moment filled with anticipation and speculation. Finally, the day arrived. The team gathered in their war room, a converted boathouse filled with maps, charts, and artifacts from their ongoing search. The air was thick with tension as they opened the envelope containing the laboratory's findings. It's from 1200 AD, Marty read aloud, his voice trembling with disbelief. A collective gasp filled the room. The implications of this discovery were staggering. Nolan's Cross was not just an artifact, it was a relic from a time long before any known European exploration of North America. Rick's mind raced with possibilities. Could this be evidence of the Knights Templar, rumored to have hidden treasures on Oak Island centuries ago? Or perhaps it was linked to the mysterious Order of the Holy Sepulchre, another medieval order shrouded in secrecy and intrigue. The team pored over historical records, legends, and myths, seeking connections and clues that might explain the presence of such an ancient artifact on their island. Their search led them down a labyrinthine path of historical and archaeological research. They consulted experts, historians, and even cryptographers, each offering a piece of the puzzle. As the story of Nolan's Cross began to take shape, they uncovered references to a secret voyage undertaken by a group of Templars fleeing persecution in Europe. These brave souls, it seemed, had sailed across the Atlantic, carrying with them sacred relics and treasures they hoped to keep hidden from the world. The more they uncovered, the more the pieces of the puzzle seemed to fit. The symbols on Nolan's Cross matched those used by the Templars, and the layout of the artifact suggested it was part of a larger, possibly ritualistic, structure. Rick and Marty realized that their discovery could rewrite the history books, proving that Europeans had reached North America long before Columbus's famed voyage. But with every revelation came new challenges. The curse of Oak Island seemed ever present, as if the island itself sought to protect its secrets. Equipment failures, sudden storms, and accidents plagued their efforts, testing the team's resolve. Yet the Lagina brothers and their crew pressed on, driven by a shared belief that they were on the verge of something monumental. As they delved deeper into the mystery, they began to see connections between Nolan's Cross and other enigmatic sites on the island. The infamous Money Pit, the swamp, and the various stone markers scattered across the landscape all seemed to point to a grand design, a hidden map leading to an unimaginable treasure. One stormy night, as the wind howled and the waves crashed against the shore, Rick found himself alone at the site of Nolan's Cross. The ancient artifact stood tall, defying the elements, a silent guardian of its secrets. Rick felt a profound connection to the past, to the generations of explorers who had come before him, each drawn by the island's siren call.